Hi, boys and girls. I just wanted to take some time to remind you about our skill this week, which is to visualize. Um, so when you visualize, you're using the descriptive details that the writer is giving you in the story to create a picture in your mind, and that will help you to understand the things that you're reading. It's fun to kind of, when you're reading, make a movie in your head of what's going on. So today I'm going to read you a short story called Whale in the Sky. And while I'm reading this story, I want you to picture in your head what you might see. And at the end, I would like for you to draw a picture that goes with this story so that you can show me what you visualized when you heard the story. A couple of things before I start the story Whale in the Sky. This is a legend, so this type of story is often used to explain something in nature, but it does not involve real people or events. Instead, the story includes animals that have human traits. So they act like humans in certain ways. Some vocabulary that you might want to be aware of when I'm reading this story, things you might hear. The first one is Thunderbird, which, according to Native American myth, is a bird that causes thunder and lightning. That's a thunderbird. You might hear the word horizon, which is the line where the earth and the sky seem to meet. You might hear salmon, which is a type of fish, and talons, which are a bird's claws. So listen carefully as I'm reading. Maybe close your eyes and picture what you're seeing as I'm reading. And then you can draw your picture and listen again if you need to. Whale in the Sky. Long ago, the rivers and seas were filled with fish, and tall trees crowded the mountainsides. There was no written language among the Indian tribes of the Northwest, and storytellers passed history and legends from one generation to the next. Sometimes a chief would hire an artist to carve a story in pictures on the trunk of a giant tree. Whale in the Sky is such a tale. The carved tree, called a totem pole, identified the chief and his family, his clan and tribe. Here's the story for you. In a time long ago, Thunderbird watched over the sea and land and all its creatures. One day he saw Whale, small on the horizon of the sea. He did not see Frog, small on the bank of the river. Frog trembled because Whale was growing larger. The salmon swam faster and faster as Whale chased them through the sea and into the river. Whale chased the salmon up the river, and Frog was afraid. He called to Raven. Raven flew into the sky after Thunderbird. Whale swallows the salmon and chases them into the river, he called. Thunderbird stretched his great wings wide and flew like the wind. He saw Whale in the river. He grabbed Whale in his terrible talons and flew high up into the sky. Whale struggled and screamed. Thunderbird flew higher and higher. Then he dropped Whale on the highest mountain. Frog was safe. He thanked his friend Raven. Now there was salmon for the people who lived beside the river. Whale gasped and shivered on the mountain. He promised to stay out of the river if he could return to the sea. Thunderbird clapped his great wings, and Whale slid down the mountain and back to the sea. The chief of the people told this tale to the carver. The carver made the story into a totem pole. Thunderbird holds Whale, while Raven watches over salmon and frog.